Alrighty,
Hello.
welcome to episode 5 of
Cougar Walk and Talk.
I'm Rachel.
What?
I'm Rachel.
I'm Anna. That was funny.
Yeah.
I got distracted.
Yeah, well, because we're on Cougar Walk, so people are, walking by.
Yeah, and we're here in the day.
Yeah,
What?
that's crazy that we're recording not when it's not dark outside.
I know.
Miracle, am I right?
Yes. And the lighting, I feel like pretty okay.
Lighting is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so today's topic, one of them, is college survival tips.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about how to thrive in college.
Yes.
Or at least our tips for that, because this is not a comprehensive guide.
No,
And-
we did not plan anything. We're just going to be yapping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of how it is every week. So
Yeah, very fair, very fair.
That's, yeah.
All right. What is... I'm trying to
So,
think.
do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
We could just go back and forth.
Yeah, okay. Oh, this one. I am always sure to get this. Okay, I cannot say this enough. Everyone's like, oh, it's college. I don't sleep. Sleep.
Yes.
Well, you need it. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. You need it more than like ever. Get sleep. Please.
No. I try to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night. And then when I tell my friends, like, oh, hey, I only got, 8.5 hours of sleep last night because I try to get 9. Then, or, hey, I only got 7.5 hours of sleep last night. Then they always say, how on earth do you do it? And then they say, oh,
how do you not do it?
How do you
bro?
not do it? Everyone I talk to always says, oh yeah, I only got 6 hours of sleep last night. And I'm thinking, what? Then
Yeah.
again, all the people that tell me that are all like allied health majors, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
See,
I guess you don't get sleep if you're an allied health major.
Yeah. For me, I get like a good amount of sleep, and you, as my roommate, know that, right?
Yeah.
I get a lot of sleep. But like once a month, I'd say, if I'm like out doing something with my friends or like my cousin or something, I'll get like 3 hours.
Because you'll come back at like 5 a.m.
I'll come back at 5 and then I'll be like 3 hours. But yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, get sleep when you can.
Yes. Sleep's important, as is drinking water.
Yes. Very. Is that your tip?
No.
Oh.
It's just a companion for drinking water. For sleep, I mean.
I think it's an attack against me because I don't drink water.
Drink water.
No, that's an L. Because if
It's an
you're
L?
drinking water, you're a loser.
No. Wait. I don't think that if you drink water, you're a loser. I think that if you drink water, then you're cool.
What's your tip?
Okay. I actually have notes for this one.
Oh, she's planned.
Yeah. So my first one is, that's the wrong side of the
Oh.
card. My first tip is when you first get into college, then, or even now, like it's never too late to get connected with people. Basically, make friends, maybe join a club.
You have a lot of
you,
friends.
I know a lot of people, yeah. Because, where was I going with this?
I don't know. But I get your concept.
Yeah. So basically, if you're sitting lonely in your dorm all day, then that's not really helping anybody. Because, I don't know, because focusing on academics is good, but if that's all you're focused on and you just sit in your room all day without connecting with anybody, then we need human connection to thrive.
Yes.
And so if you go out and if you make a friend, even if it's just somebody who's in one of your classes, then say, hey, introduce yourself, give me your name, see if you want to hang out, like find somebody on the same floor of your dorm as you. Join a club. Like there's so many clubs on this campus, especially.
Join a Zusa dance force.
Yes.
You'll see me.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be
president next semester.
Yeah. So join a club, because there's a lot of cool people in a lot of clubs. So yeah, you do Azusa Dance Force.
Yes.
Personally, I go to all of the animation club events, and I've made a lot of friends that way. So that's a really good way. And like I said, just get to know people in your dorm. Get to know your RAs.
Oh,
Your
yeah, that's a
RAs are
fun-
gonna be really good friends and resources and everything. But having someone to just spend time with throughout your college life and career and everything just makes it that much more bearable. So that's my tip.
All right. My next tip is find a system that works for you. Because everyone, like, our brains work. Ooh.
Sorry, I slammed the table. That was my fault.
So everyone's brains work differently. Like, I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I learn, like, through touch, right? Some people learn through, like, listening. Some people learn through, like, visual. Find something that works for you. And also, like, even with, like, notes or, like, studying habits, find something that, like, sticks. Like, for me, I like Cornell notes, because when I'm scanning through my notes, I can see, like, the general topics and then read more about them.
I totally forgot Cornell notes existed.
No, I love Cornell notes. So most people are like, I hate Cornell notes. No, that's like the only way that I take notes.
No, when I was in maybe middle school and high school, then my history teacher always made us do Cornell notes for our history notes. They were that's such a helpful structure, and I totally forgot it existed.
I love Cornell notes. I love it. So just find a system that works for you. Don't just do things because they're popular. Do it because it works.
Yeah. You gotta have a reason, and that reason can't always be, like you said, because it's popular.
Yeah, like for me, color coding does not work. I don't get that. And for one of my classes, we had to get like colored pencils so we could color code. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. But yeah, it works for some people, not for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. What's your next tip?
My next tip is to stay on top of schoolwork and focus on your academics. I mean, not completely on your prioritize your academics. You don't have to focus completely on your academics because you still want to go out and make friends and everything. But if you need to lock in, then lock in. Prioritize your projects and everything. It's never good when you are going out partying with friends or something, or basically procrastinating everything, and then you have an 8-page essay due at midnight that you haven't started on. That's not helpful for anybody, and it's gonna basically tank your brain, it's gonna tank your motivation.
Yeah.
So if you have something due, then assess how much time you need to do it, and when it's due, and what you need to do, basically how much effort it takes, and then go from there. Decide whether you need to work on that thing, or if you have the actual or if you actually have the time to go out with friends or to play that video game.
Yeah. So, are you done with that one?
Oh, also, don't sorry.
You're good.
Also, don't procrastinate on long projects. So, for stuff like, if you have like a 1-page reflection paper for a class, or just like like you need to comment on a discussion board, that's something that you can do literally in an hour. So for stuff like that, like, yes, absolutely prioritize it. But for stuff like that, then it's not as big a deal if you procrastinated until the last day, because you can get it done in the last day. But if it's something like an 8-page paper that you've known about since the beginning of the semester, then you want to actually remember that it exists and start a few weeks in advance so that you don't get behind. Because you can't write an 8-page paper in one day. It's not possible.
Yeah. No, that is not possible. I learned that hard way.
I also learned that the hard way.
I was trying to find something on my phone to prove my next point, but I couldn't find it. So we're just going to try to explain this.
Okay.
Everything, this point in your life, right? I feel like you're the one who has to start making the decisions on the balance, right? So you need to find out like where your priorities are and values. It kind of like goes along with what you were saying, but also like kind of a little different. A strategy that I use, like I'd say maybe like once or twice a month, is there's like, okay, think of like a Punnett square, right? Okay, over here is important, not important, and on the side it's urgent, not urgent.
I've seen that. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
it works so good. So then you just eliminate like this bottom box that is not like important or urgent, because you don't need that in your life. And then the ones that are important and urgent, you do those first. You get them done, right? So it just helps you like organize your brain. And then another thing that I do that's kind of similar is I'll like write down 10 things that are like priorities for me, and I'll list them like in the order. That way I'm not like, of course, like everyone says, this is my big pet peeve. Everyone says give 100% for everything. If you have 100%, you physically cannot give 100% to everything. I know it's a saying, but that really bothers me. So it helps me figure out how much percent of my total energy I put into one thing. So
Yeah,
find
nice.
a balance in your life.
I like that.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Slay.
I didn't write down anything else on my note sheet. So if you want to go again while I think, because I was very much paying attention to you instead of thinking what my next tip was going to be.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
So if you have something else, then go for it.
Let me think really fast.
You're stroking your beard with me.
Type in the comments what you think is a good tip. Okay.
Because that wasn't our poll this week, so
No.
we did something different for the poll, which we'll
Yeah.
be discussing later.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, nope. We gotta stop doing that. Okay.
Well, I do that a lot. Because I talk with my hands, and so every once in a while, then I make some kind of big gesture and then like slam my hand into the side of a table. It's fun. Yeah.
For me, I like how I was saying, like I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I'll like try to like make like little diagrams like in the air, or like I'll draw them out. I'm like, it's like this,
Yeah.
and people are like, what are you
I
doing?
know. I'll always, whenever I need to do something like that, then I'll always try to make a spreadsheet.
Oh,
I have like 4 different spreadsheets and lists for different things. I made a spreadsheet for all of the assignments that I had for the entire semester.
I did that
and
too.
then
That's a tip.
Yes, you
That's
put
a tip.
you put in the assignment, the class it's for, the due date, and then I also put in like how long it would take to, like what kind of assignment. I also put in what kind of
Ooh.
assignment it was, like a project or like a paper or like a test, and then I put in how much effort it would take, like how long it would take. Like, is it a day of thing, like a test, or is it a short-term assignment, like a reflection paper, or is it a long-term assignment, like a big project or an essay?
Yeah.
And that really helped me.
This semester was my first semester doing that. And one thing that kind of helped me is I would go through every day and mark that day green, as in like I did that. Okay, so it helps me find my space. And then also the second thing, be specific, because sometimes I'll look an assignment and I was like, what was that?
Yeah, it really helps too, because we use Canvas here, and not like what's the other thing? Google something.
Google Classroom?
Google Space. Yeah, Google Classroom. That's it. We use Canvas instead of Google Classroom. And so, I mean, even in Google Classroom, then when you go to the homepage in Canvas, then it only lists the first maybe 7 assignments. It doesn't list every assignment for the semester. And so if you have something super long term, like that 8-page essay that's due in 2 weeks, but you have other assignments before then the essay or the long term assignment isn't going to show up. And so I know for me that's been a problem in the past, because since it doesn't show up on the Canvas, then I forget that it's an assignment.
Yeah.
And so having it all laid out in a spreadsheet like that helps me a lot, because it makes me remember that it's an actual assignment that exists.
Yeah. And also, I had 2 professors this semester, and their assignments were not due at 11:59 p.m. It was due at random times throughout the day. And so I would just put it as the due date in my spreadsheet the day before, so that I would
I like
actually
that.
yeah. So yeah. What else? Oh, another tip. This one I'm talking to myself, but build a routine, because your body needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, like how my first tip was like get enough sleep, but maybe I get a little too much sleep. So build a routine.
Yeah, because if you go to, because you can't just go to bed at this. Okay, if you say that you're going to get 8 hours of sleep, then and you have a class at 9, then you can't just say that you're going to go to bed at 12 at midnight and then wake up at 8. Wait, if you have a class at 8:15, then you can't just say that you're going to go to bed at midnight and then wake up at 8, because that's easy for 8 hours of sleep. You need to say that you're going to go to bed at 11 and then wake up at 7, so that you have the time to get ready for that 8:15 class. So that you don't actually, so that you get your 8 hours of sleep, but you don't sleep in past your class, because there's a lot of attendance policies, and you need to, and for a lot of classes, then you need to actually go to class to get the information, to get the lecture notes.
Yeah, and too many times, especially this semester, like, really, I'd be like, oh, my class is at 9:20, I'm fine, and then, like, I get up at 9 out of bed, and then I have like 5 minutes to get dressed and get out, and then I have to wait because we have like trolleys, because we have 2 campuses.
Yeah.
So I have to wait for the trolley, and so be realistic.
Well,
be realistic.
It's really dead out here for the middle of the day.
Yeah, but it's also like, okay, it is finals week, and also it's 4:30.
That's a good point.
So people might be in like taking finals right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I don't know.
Yeah. There's something I was going to say in response to that, and I don't. In response. Oh yeah. On that note of finding a routine and everything, then I mentioned, you need to actually go to class. Don't skip class unless you have a good reason to skip class, and also be on time. It doesn't do any, because you could be late and actually go to class, but that's not doing any good, because if you're late, then I know for a lot of my classes, then if you get a certain amount of tardies, then that counts as an absence.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a lot of classes, then there's also an absence policy, where if you get to 2 to 3 absences, then it lowers like your final participation grade, which I don't like, because like, what if you're sick more than 3 times?
Yeah.
But anyway, don't skip class unless you have a good reason to skip class. And so like, if you're sick, then that's a good reason to skip class. If you're you're not doing yourself any good if you're trying to go out and about while you have a sinus infection or something.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
But also make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Like,
definitely.
Obviously, don't abuse that, like, being like, I'm taking care of myself. Like, you do need to go to class. But also, if you're really struggling, real talk here. If you're struggling, go get help.
Yeah.
You don't, go to class, but yourself comes first. Because you cannot be in college
and be a good student and a good learner.
Yeah, you can't be present if you aren't physically, mentally, emotionally well.
Yeah.
So
like, if it's something like, let me think of an example. If it's something like, oh, I just don't feel like, you wake up and you just like, I don't feel like going to class because I don't like the class. That's not a good reason. Go to class, do your assignments. It'll be over in 4 months.
Yeah.
If it's something like you wake up and you feel super burnt out and just not mentally there, go back to bed, get some sleep, drink water, email your professor, hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like there are some not so great professors out there, but there are also super understanding professors. So communicate what's going on. If you have something going on, let them know.
Yeah.
Because they can't help you if they don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing, is you can't get help if no one knows that you need help.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. What else? I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, that's a very good speech, though. That's a very good topic right there.
Yeah. I think overall, just don't just survive, thrive. Slay. My gosh.
Yeah.
I am really excited for the next topic.
Oh, I was gonna say, can you what's the word? Can you elaborate on that statement?
Oh, yes. So don't just survive, thrive, because they are very different. Surviving means I am alive, I am doing bare minimum, right? And sometimes you're there. Sometimes life has ups and downs. Downs, you're low-key just surviving. Just get through it, right? But thriving is like, I'm doing well, right? I am feeling fulfilled. I am going above and beyond, right? So those are, it's kind of like, this is surviving, but this is thriving. So, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to survive in order to thrive, too.
Deep thoughts.
Yeah. If you get that reference, then kudos to you. If you don't,
Just
no
kidding.
kudos. If you don't, then you obviously did not see good times at the beginning of the year.
Or maybe they just don't go here.
Or you don't attend this college and don't know what we're talking about.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Keep watching. We love the viewers.
Yes. Even though we have like 7.
We love the 7 viewers.
Yep.
Slay.
Yeah. So any other survival tips? Get out of your dorm every once in a while.
Yes.
That kind of goes along with making friends and putting yourself out there a little bit, because but you know, if you're like, even if you're doing that and you're hanging out with people, but then for homework and just general chilling, then you're spending all your time in your dorm, then no, get it, like, it's that's fine if you're too tired to go out, but if you're not, then go out, get some sun. We have Cougar walk here, you know.
Yes.
Sit outside, get some fresh air. You'll see people, you know, be able to say hi.
My favorite place to study is Student Commons on West.
Yeah,
That's my favorite place.
I love sitting in the student commons on West because it's just like everyone is there.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, then I'll get a little too comfortable there, and I'll end up talking with people for 3 hours and playing Redactyl instead of actually doing homework. But if you don't get distracted like that, then it's a great place to just, you know, see people, be with people. If you like being surrounded by people while you're doing your work.
I actually have another great tip for studying that at least works for me. Okay. Again, this is all stuff that works for us. Don't know if it works for you. Try it out and see. So, if I have an assignment I have not touched and I need to get it done, and it's not even like a hard assignment, it's just that I don't want to do it, I will take only the things that I need for that assignment and go to the library. That way I'm stuck there with only one thing to do until I'm done, and then I leave.
Yeah, libraries are a really good place to study too. I don't study in the library much. I think I've gone to the library to study maybe twice in the 3 semesters that I've been here. Oh wow. Because once was last week, and that was only for about 5 minutes because I was just waiting for somebody. But the other time that I did, which was right at the end of the year, like last spring. And I went to the library, and I was there for maybe I was able to plug in my computer. I was there for like 2 hours working on a final project that I had, and I got a lot of that done. And so if you like, you know, if you like people but want it to be quiet, library is good for you. And there's books. Yeah. So added bonus there.
Yeah. Have you ever been exploring in the library?
I have. Yeah. Actually, the first time that I went exploring in the library was also, I think, last spring. Because Ashley took me around Marshburg.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's really cool that there's 3 levels.
Yeah.
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 I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I don't think there is. We should do a library episode sometime. Just talk about books and library experiences and everything.
That'd be fun.
Rate the libraries.
Yeah,
We
that'd
should
be
do
fun.
that. Yeah.
Can I say it?
Okay.
Next topic is irrational fears.
Yes. So we're gonna go over the poll results first.
I'll pull
I
it
keep
up.
forgetting that the camera's on this side and not on this side.
You know what? This is probably so annoying to you guys, but I just look at the middle. So,
Wait,
I'm
that's
just-
a good idea, actually.
yeah, I just look at myself.
Yeah, but you're on the side with the camera, though.
Oh, very fair.
Okay, so our poll question this week was, what is an irrational fear that you have? Let's just go through the answers one by one.
All right. So, first answer is snakes.
Like Indiana Jones.
Like my grandpa.
Okay.
My grandpa doesn't like snakes.
My dad doesn't like snakes either.
But my grandpa was a farmer in a desert.
My dad was a missionary kid in Venezuela.
Oh. I guess those are very... Yeah.
Yeah, but snakes, like Indiana Jones.
Snakes.
I feel like snakes are kind of a toss-up because you have the big like boa constrictors and rattlesnakes and everything that nobody likes, but then where I'm from,
Some
then we
people
get
like them.
some people like them. I like seeing them when I go to the fair.
You have snakes at your fair?
Yeah, well, because we have like a reptile thing. There's
That's cool.
like a traveling reptile exhibit or something that comes, and so we get like snakes and turtles and alligators and.
You know, I never got the chance, like, you know how, like, in some elementary schools, some guy will come, like, with a huge snake? Like, that's how
Not in my elementary school.
Well, I know that's a thing, like, in a good amount of elementary schools, because there's, like, memes about that, right? But
Okay.
I never got the chance to do that, and I'm kind of sad. But,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where I live. Then we also get like the little garter snakes, and so they're literally like this big, and they just kind of slither around, really harmless. One of them got into our garage once, and my sister had to fish it out of the garage. But yeah, they're absolutely harmless. They just slither around your garden and.
Yeah, one time, so, again, I'll be kind of vague about it, but I lived in a desert, right? So I grew up in a desert, and at my high school, I was walking back to my class because I went to the bathroom, and I walked by the cafeteria, and our school was outdoor. It was like an outdoor school, kind of, right? Because California. But, so there was like this little like dirt patch next to the cafeteria, and there was always a hose there, right? There was always a hose there. So I thought nothing of this thing that I saw on the ground, this long and like kind of coiled up thing. I just thought it was a hose. So I walked probably like, I don't know, how much distance is that? Maybe like 1.5 feet? I don't know.
Like 2 feet, I think.
2 feet, right? So 2 feet away, and I saw it move. It was a snake. It's probably longer than my wingspan, and I am a tall person, so my wingspan is like pretty decent, right? But the thing it was like really thin. It was really thin and really long. So that freaked me out because it was in our school. But
wonderful.
yeah,
There was this one time that we went fishing because there's like a lake and a dock right near our house, and so we went fishing off the dock, and there was this family who had this big cooler, and we thought, it's fishing on a dock, and so we thought maybe there's snacks or maybe it's filled with water for when they catch their fish. But then the guy opened up the cooler, and this like 8-foot boa constrictor slithered out of the cooler and onto the dock.
Wait,
and
like
they just
he knew what it was in there?
Yeah, like it was their pet. They just had a pet boa constrictor that they took fishing with them.
Why would they take it fishing with them though?
I don't know. Because they wanted to.
That seems dangerous. I don't know. Scary.
Yeah. And I always think about, did you ever watch the Penguins of Madagascar series?
I've seen a few episodes.
Okay. There's this one character in Penguins of Madagascar. It wasn't a regular character. It was only in like maybe
Like a
3 or 4 episodes. But it was like this big giant this big giant boa constrictor. I don't know. This thing must have been like 10 feet long, and like compared to the penguins and the other animals, absolutely giant. And there was an entire episode revolving around that the animals from the zoo were going missing, and they eventually discovered that it was the snake who was escaping his cage every night and eating all of the animals.
I have a story.
Okay. I feel like this side of the thing is getting a little washed out.
Okay, so I have a story, guys.
That like that.
I was at Petco. Not name dropping the brand, but anyways, it wasn't their fault. So I was there, right? And I was looking at the animals, and I saw this snake, and it was kind of interesting because it was crawling up the glass wall. I was like, snakes can't do that.
Oh wait, I remember this story. You told me this.
So I continue watching it, and he's kind of hiding, like he's starting to go more and more and more up. I was like, what is he doing? He's going like in this little crack, right? So at PetSmart, they're like kind of like drawer cages, right? So you pull it out, and then the top is open, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And I see he's starting to poke out into the other cage, right?
What?
Into the other cage with another snake of a different species. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to tell the people. So I go and I find an employee. I'm like, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but the snake is like crawling out into the other cage. And she's like, oh, and she runs over and she's like, oh, that's how he's doing it. I'm like, what? She's like, for the past 3 days, he's been in the other enclosure and we don't know how he's getting over it. I'm like that. It was so scary. It was so scary. But I'm glad I found it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. So I guess maybe it was like properly sealed or something.
I guess.
I don't know. Scary.
Yeah. Okay. Next poll result.
I memorized them.
Why don't you just look?
Okay, I'll look. I memorized it.
Did you?
My mom. My mom. It was popping balloons. See, I'll even prove to you that it was popping balloons.
Popping balloons. Okay.
Popping balloons.
Popping balloons. That kind of makes sense because it's like a sudden noise.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I'm not afraid of popping balloons, but I feel like it startles me if I hear it unexpectedly.
Yeah, like I'm not afraid of it, but it is like
startling.
Yeah, I feel like any loud noise though, like if someone like shouts, you're like, ah, right? Yeah. So it's just like the same thing with like popping balloons. But very valid because it's loud, and I guess because like it's like a unique noise, maybe.
That's a good point too.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is fun fact. There is actually a phobia for like a fear of balloons in general. It's called globophobia.
Is it called global because they're
no
round?
globo? Oh, globophobia.
It was
globophobia. Globophobia. Like a globe. Globophobia.
Because they're round.
I guess. I don't know. The only reason I know that is because there was an episode of Corner Gas when somebody was afraid of balloons. And so they mentioned that.
Yeah. Okay, and then the
Next
last one, I have to pull it up again because my phone keeps being like, no. But it is thin needles. Like medical, not sewing.
I've never gotten like stitches or anything, and so the only medical needles I've experienced are like when they give you a shot in the arm.
Have you ever gotten like your blood drawn or something?
Yes, I did donate blood a couple of years back. I do remember that because they sterilize the area and then they just like stick it up your arm.
Yeah, and have you ever gotten like anesthesia? They do that for that too. Cause
not in not for a regular medical procedure though. I got it when I have like dental procedures because they need to like numb the area of your gums and then like stick the needle into your gums.
Well, no, I get it. They do the anesthesia here. Like this knocks you out.
Oh, okay. See, I've never gotten that.
You've never gotten anesthesia?
Well, not for a needle. Not with a needle. I've had the like needle in your gums for when you're like numbing it.
But no, that's not anesthesia.
Well, I know.
So
that's the only like that's the only like needle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean.
Okay.
No, the anesthesia because I got it once when I was having like a dental procedure done, but that was like they gave you like a mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Because I was gonna say both my surgeries were dental surgeries, and they both used the arm. So
the arm.
So how I'm
saying.
saying.
The arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, wait. Can we shift just like a little bit this way so that it's not as washed out on the side? Because there's a light right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that looks better? That looks a lot better.
I think that does look better.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, very valid because literally in the past, I'd say year, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm okay. I was a little unwell for a little bit, but I basically got like blood tested like 7 times last year. So I got like a lot of needles.
Wow. I feel like the concept of needles is makes me a little nervous, but then once they actually, inject it, then it doesn't hurt as much as you think it does.
You know what I've always said, and no one ever like understands what I'm saying? When they inject you with like whatever it is, it's cold.
It's cold?
To me, it feels very cold.
That's
like
interesting.
It's like cold liquid going into your arm. But everyone's like, I can't feel it. I can definitely feel like something going.
That doesn't feel fun. That makes me squirm, honestly.
Yeah, like it feels
makes me squirm.
Cold. Like it's cold in your blood.
Let's move on to a different topic.
All right.
I did actually. I have a couple of other notes because I went and wrote down the names of some interesting and rare fears that I found.
Wait, can I say mine?
Yes.
My irrational fear is rats. I hate rats.
That's kind of a rational fear, though.
But it's like snakes.
Oh, well, I guess it would be. Well, I guess kind of all fears are irrational because the definition of a phobia is that it's an irrational anxiety disorder. So I guess technically all fears are irrational. It's just that some are more common than others.
Well, so not all fears are phobias.
How so?
Not all fears are phobias. So phobia is like intense fear.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't have a fear that when I go outside my mod that I'm gonna see a rat every day. That's a phobia.
Okay.
A fear is just like if I hear rustling in the bushes, I might think it's a rat.
Okay. It's probably just Nathan.
And I love Nathan.
Yeah, for context, Nathan is the baby possum that's on campus.
He's so cute. And we also have Smokey.
Smokey's the cat, yeah.
I love Smokey.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. On our way back from Thanksgiving, maybe I already said this, I don't remember.
I think you did.
On the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh. If you didn't watch, but we almost saw Smokey get hit by a car.
Oh, wait, no, you didn't mention that.
Yeah. We almost saw Smokey get hit. Oh my gosh. Poor Smokey.
Yeah.
But anyways. Yeah, I don't like rats. What's your irrational fear?
Probably fear of heights. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like I don't like standing on the counter to change light bulbs or
Oh, okay. Yeah.
or going up on ladders or being on the roofs of buildings.
Yeah. No, for me, I have one that's similar to that, but I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of unstable floors.
That makes sense. Like floors that creak.
No. Like
if you're standing like with your 2 legs on each side of a seesaw.
No, more like okay, if you're I guess like okay, So, like, with boats or roller coasters, like, if the floor is moving, when I was very young, I was afraid of elevators and escalators, but I got over that.
Okay.
So, yeah, just, like, unstable floors.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's also why I'm, like, I haven't been on an airplane since I was 5, but I'm kind of nervous.
I'm going on an airplane in less than 2 days.
Ooh, tell me, please be safe.
Okay, I usually am.
Okay.
I don't have a fear of flying, so.
Yeah.
You know what another one I have is fear of water. Not like water in general, like drinking water.
Just kidding. Because people who have rabies are afraid of water. But I'm joking.
Okay. No, not like water in general, but like going into water and like swimming. Because maybe it's because I don't know how to swim. I can't swim. And so whenever I like go into a body of water, then I'm always afraid I'm going to drown.
So here's my thing. I can't swim, but I cannot drown. Right?
You can float.
No, I cannot float. I can tread water.
Okay.
But I can't travel.
That makes
so
sense.
if I'm being chased by a shark, I'm out. Bye, guys.
Guess we shouldn't transport you to Jaws then.
No, but you know what? I love being in the ocean. I love the ocean so much that I will be the farthest one out. I have had lifeguards on 3 occasions come out to me and be like, hey, you're too far. Come back. And I can't swim. So I don't know what my logic is on that one. But that was more like middle school, high school. So I feel like I've kind of rationalized being like, maybe don't go that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What were your...
Yeah, so I wrote down a couple of interesting ones. One of them is anatidyphobia, which is, I'm pretty, you might have heard of this, because a lot of people find it entertaining. It's a very rare fear that some people have, that somewhere at all times there is a duck watching you.
And this is a thing that multiple people have?
Yeah, it's very rare though.
That is an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Because I first heard about it when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, because one of my classmates in middle school did an essay and a presentation on like irrational fears, and he included the fear of a duck watching you in there.
Interesting.
But I always find that interesting, that it's something that exists.
Yeah, and that multiple people have.
Yeah.
That is, like, I wonder,
so
like, where that stems from. Oh, you know what it probably... You know what, it is kind of scary, like, when you're holding a bag of bread and then, like, a swarm of ducks, like, chase you. So maybe, like, when they were really young, that happened to them, and now they're just scared of ducks.
This is random, but did you ever watch that show Odd Squad when you were a kid? No? There was this show on PBS Kids called Odd Squad that I watched as a kid.
Is that the one that's, like, kind of technological?
I think you might be thinking of Cyber Chase.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, no, it was like this, agency that only employed children. And they basically would go around and solve, like, the world, like, the odd problems of the world. But in season 2, then one of the main characters, one of the new agents, was afraid of ducks. Like, literally every time he saw a duck, then he would run, and he was always nervous about ducks showing up. And so I thought at first that, he might have had like the anatidyphobia, like fear of a duck watching you, since he didn't like ducks, since he was so afraid of the concept of a duck showing up.
Yeah.
It turned out to be something else, but
that's so interesting.
Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. Okay.
What's the other
I also have phobophobia, which is the fear of phobias.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, that sounds intense. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's what's it called?
Catch-22?
Yeah. I don't remember. But it's like when two things cancel each other out.
Oxymoron.
That's not it either. But it's okay. Sometimes I forget words and then I am angry that I don't remember them. But it's okay.
Yeah. There's like this light right here.
It's okay.
It's washing out like this whole stuff. Okay,
I think
anyway.
it's just gonna keep getting brighter because it's getting darker.
Okay. I also have banana phobia. Guess
Fear
what
of
that
bananas.
one is? Yeah.
But that's me.
You're afraid of bananas?
No, I am banana because I am Anna Banana. My uncles, when I was young, strictly called me banana. So if you have banana phobia, you're afraid of me, and that makes me sad.
Okay. All right. And then the other one is turophobia, which is the fear of cheese.
I don't know how you can add that. No, actually, no. It low-key kind of makes sense because cheese is just kind of like moldy milk. So it like kind of makes sense, but I also love cheese. Did you ever think about that?
Not real. That cheese is moldy milk?
Yeah.
Not really.
Like it's like specific moldy milk. Because it's curdled milk?
Yeah.
But it's just milk that is like basically molded in a certain way.
That's interesting. That's an interesting way to think about it on the everyday.
But I love cheese, so I don't hate it. And
Yeah,
also like
honestly,
I
same.
like blue cheese, so that's like
Really?
double moldy milk.
See, I hate blue cheese, so. No, I had it on mac and cheese once at like this super fancy restaurant,
Okay.
and I tasted some of it just by itself. It was disgusting.
Because you're not supposed to eat it on itself, and also it doesn't sound good on mac and cheese.
Well, this super fancy restaurant put it on the mac and cheese. So,
Well, like if you have it with a salad, that's really good. You know what else I like? I like goat cheese.
goat cheese. I don't think I've ever had goat cheese.
Goat cheese is really good.
You know what I love is the Parmigiano Reggiano. That's the stuff
Is that
that I
the
have.
one
That's
that
the
you
one I have
have?
in my fridge. In the fridge, yeah.
Ah!
I have like a big block of it, and I just cut some off every once in a while. It has a very like tasty nutty flavor.
Yeah, but you say that you have to eat it slow, and
Yeah.
I don't like that because I want to eat it all at once.
No, you can't just like because like I said, the flavor is very nutty and strong, and so you can't just eat it all the way. Like you kind of have to nibble on it like a mouse to get the full appreciation of the cheese.
I get that. Can I give a tip? This is random. This is not college or phobia or anything, but it's just about eating foods in small amounts. So if you are let's say you're at a dinner party and you hate the food. You absolutely hate it, right? But you feel bad, so you have to eat it. Eat ginormous spoonfuls. Just get it over with. Because listen, if you eat a little bit, you're gonna be like, oh, I have to keep tasting it. Taste it like max 3 times in just large amounts. That's my
a good
tip.
tip. That's a good tip. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyways.
Okay. I don't have any other notes. We're at 48 minutes.
Okay, let's talk more about fears. I am also, like I said, scared of roller coasters.
I am too.
I've passed out multiple times.
Oh, I'm not that scared.
I am that scared. But I also have an anxiety disorder.
Hi.
Slay.
The infamous. He has a YouTube channel.
Okay, then it's fine. Go look up his YouTube channel.
Yeah, Pineapple Leaf Productions. There's some great stuff on there. Watch The Christmas Criminal. Yeah.
Yeah, we just watched that. It was good. Yeah. No, I don't like roller coasters at all. Sometimes, even if I'm like driving really slow, like if you're in traffic and it's like go stop, right? That will make me feel like I'm on a roller coaster, and then I get scared.
That's interesting. No, I've only been on 2 big roller coasters in my life.
2?
Yeah.
I thought you worked at a theme park.
Yeah, that was where I went on the first 2 roller coasters that I've ever been on. Like the big roller coasters.
Wow.
It was because my sister and I went to the theme park on my day off.
Mm-hmm.
But Like the first one that I went on, then it like went up and it had like a really big drop, and I was just like I just screamed when I was on that. And the other one was really wooden and rickety, and so I was like,
oh,
this
I hate
is not
those.
pleasant.
I hate those. I cannot stand wooden roller coasters. But you know what I do like?
What's that?
I love water rides.
Hmm.
Like there's something very different of being on the water in comparison to being like on a track.
Okay.
Because for me, like it makes more sense to be on water because it has like a natural flow of direction.
Okay.
So I love
Nice.
water rides. Like, oh my gosh, put me on the front row of Jurassic Park at Universal, like every time, I will be happy.
Nice. I need to go to Universal at some point.
It was really fun.
Okay.
What else?
I think.
Oh, you think what?
I think. Well, no. You said what else?
Well, we don't have to have a what else.
Because I was gonna say I think that's about it for what I have. Is that about it for what you have?
That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Right.
We're we're recording early in the week. By the time this is posted, by the time you're watching this, then it'll be our Christmas break and we won't be here.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna have. So after this, then there's gonna be
like 3 weeks,
like 3 or 4 weeks that we're not gonna be recording and posting an episode because we're not gonna be at the college.
And this is called Cougar Walk and Talk.
Yeah.
So kind of has to be on Cougar Walk.
Yeah, so there'll be like a 3 or 4 week hiatus with no videos, but once we get back, then we'll have some new stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Then happy holidays and have
Happy
a
New Year.
Yep. All right.
Yay. Oh.
Bye.
Bye.